Only on 5 tonight, a Merlin woman with a long history of medical complications says she's finally found a medicine that works for her.
But now she fears the government will take it away. NBC5's Christina Zagami is live in studio with more on her story. Christina?
Kristen, Craig, Jessamyn Way has had medical complications since 2009, and it's taken its toll on both her and her children. When pharmaceuticals didn't work, she turned to alternative medicine, but the government recently made moves to threaten the legality of that. So now she's planning to fight back.
I wanted to die.
It's not the typical feeling a mother has after giving birth. But shortly after Jessamyn Way delivered her 4th son, doctors discovered she had a brain tumor.
I was in such shock.
And just a 10% chance of surviving the emergency surgery.
The headache was just so horrific that it didn't matter to me to live anymore.
She beat the odds, but the relief didn't last long. The tumor was gone, but Jessamyn left with post-operative epilepsy.
I remember I taught my youngest boy, who was 3 at the time, I taught him how to call 911 for me. The majority of my time I spent in my bedroom in the dark, under the pillows with them on my head to keep the sounds and the lights and everything out, because it would just trigger a seizure, trigger a seizure, trigger a seizure.
She was living life in the dark, suffering as many as 15 seizures a day, even while taking all of these.
Painkillers, seizure medications. Unfortunately, none of the medications they gave me worked, or I would break out in hives and be allergic to them.
Then, a doctor's visit in 2013 revealed things could get worse. Another brain tumor found in a place it could not be removed.
Most people will live for a maximum of 6 years.
Having beat the odds before, Jessamyn let the tumor inspire her to make drastic changes to her diet and her medical regimen, slowly weaning off the prescription pills and replacing them with spoonfuls of cannabis oil.
As I backed off of the pharmaceuticals and up the cannabis, everything started getting better. And
as her seizures slowed, Jessamyn became hopeful for something she really wanted, another baby.
One I just lost like a month in. I hadn't even made it to the doctors yet. You know, I just shown positive and then was starting to have things and then lost it. And then the second one I had to have removed because it just didn't form correctly.
Suspecting the pills were causing the miscarriages,
did this whole entire change and went fully onto the cannabis and got better. And then we decided to try one more time. And we got her grown thanks to cannabis oil.
Most doctors would advise pregnant women stay away from cannabis, but Jessamyn was a special case.
They said, whatever you're doing right now is working and it's good, and don't stop.
Jessamyn gave birth to a healthy baby girl, Ayoka, and shortly after, Anya. On cannabis oil, she's no longer forced to hide from her children as she fights off seizures. But now, Jessamyn has a new fight, this time with the government.
Sessions has his way and it goes into federal hands, then he can remove it from states. And if he removes it from states and I can no longer grow my cannabis, I will die. Like, I will have a major seizure, probably in front of my daughters, and it will be horrible.
In January, Attorney General Jeff Sessions lifted an Obama-era policy that kept federal authorities from cracking down on marijuana in states where it is legal. So Jessamyn is planning to sue Sessions.
He needs to understand that this is not a drug. This is a medication that keeps people like myself alive. And him saying it is threatening to me because I don't do drugs. I don't even drink coffee. Him taking this from people like myself is frightening and harassing.
Jessamyn's medical regimen is legal in Oregon for now, but she's worried about the future, visiting several state lawmakers to share her story and ask that they'll stand by her. A medical cannabis nonprofit out of Washington heard her story and is now helping raise money for Jessamyn's attorney.
She's quite a remarkable story, let alone a remarkable woman. The scientific evidence is irrefutable.
Start the tumors and the cancer.
More than anything, Jessamyn is hoping the lawsuit will give her a chance to share her story with Sessions and the nation.
And that way he can see that it's not just some non-usable drug that I'm getting high on, that it's medicine that keeps me alive. And without it, these 2 amazing little girls would have never been born.
She also hopes to help pave the way for a federal government that is less restrictive on medical cannabis.
Those laws need to change, and I need to be able to go wherever I want to go and, be just like every other American citizen. I would like to show my children the White House someday.
Jessamyn has traveled all around Oregon and Washington to share her story. If you would like to learn more about her lawsuit, you can visit this story on KOBI-5.com. Reporting in studio, Christina Zagami, NBC5 News.